You know that your website should be bringing in a constant stream of new leads and helping you to close more sales, but instead it just sits there twiddling its thumbs like a bone-idle teenager. Rather than helping you to grow your business, could it actually be pushing potential clients away? Now let's take a look at these two homepage layouts. On the face of it, they offer exactly the same things, yet the second version will convert way more than the first. Now I've been designing websites for almost 10 years now for businesses both big and small, and in that time I've figured out a few simple things that the highest converting websites all have in common. It all boils down to having the right layout and structure that helps to turn visitors into paying clients. Structures that are so familiar that they feel easy to navigate, intuitive to use, but that are unique enough to grab attention fast. So what I'm going to go through in today's video is 5 of my favourite homepage layouts that really work in terms of boosting the amount of visitors that turn into paying clients and help you to grow your service-based business. So today I'm going to go over the things that make each of these layouts different, what things actually make them better, and how you can implement the perfect layout on your website too. Now by far the most important part of any homepage layout is the bit above the fold. That's the first part of the website that every visitor sees without needing to scroll. Now us web designers actually call this section of a website the hero section, and for good reason. A great hero section will tell visitors exactly what you do, how it helps them specifically, and how they can get it. Now if it doesn't do all of these things within the first couple of seconds, people are going to bounce pretty quick and they're never going to scroll any further into your website. But when you get the hero section of a website right, you're a massive step towards converting these visitors into your next paying client, which is why in the remainder of this video I'm going to very much focus on the hero section of these homepage layouts. So let's get into it. You'll have no doubt seen hero sections very similar to this, with a large image in the background, usually knocked back with some sort of overlay over the top, and then a large headline, some subtext, and then a call to action firmly over the top of the image. Now there's nothing specifically wrong with this as a layout, but we can make things a hell of a lot better quite easily. So one of the first things that we can do with that initial layout is to actually move the image over to the right hand side into its own separate space, and then move the text, so the headline, the subheading, and the call to action over to the left hand side of the screen. Now this is done for quite an important reason, because we can naturally use the movement of the human eye, which generally speaking will go from the left of the page over to the right, to really emphasize the key message that you're wanting to get across in the headline and the subtext, and to obviously draw attention to the call to action. By moving the image over to the right hand side, it gives everything a lot more space. Naturally, when this starts to shrink down onto mobile screen sizes, you can have your headline up at the top and the image can move down to the bottom, meaning everything stays in a nice layout and stays sort of easy to read and to view, whilst making sure that the important bit is obviously front and center and the first thing that the eye naturally sees when people visit the website. But even with this layout, we can make it even better than what it is already. So in the second layout that I'm going to go through with you now, let's start to add in a couple of key elements that can really help to boost the conversion rate of your small business website. So the first thing that we can do to make layout number 1 even better is in layout number 2, we can start to add in some social proof elements such as a review widget. Now with this, what this is instantly doing is it's giving the important information in the headline and the subtext. You've still got your call to action, but then by adding in the reviews in there as well, you're starting to emphasize the fact that you're a reputable company and people should trust what you're saying. By doing so, this is going to give the people that are coming to your website that bit more emphasis and bit more reason to actually scroll further into the website and find out exactly what it is that you do and how you can help them as a customer. Now again, in the next layout, we can take this even further still. So what you can see here is, instead of having just a review widget, we've actually expanded this out a little bit further and put in some customer testimonials. Now this is another good way to show some social proof. People, when they come into your website, if they can see that you've helped somebody similar to them, then they're going to be more likely to actually scroll further into your website and eventually convert into a paying client. So getting some sort of testimonials in the hero section of the website is really, really good. Again, you can still see we've got the supporting image here, we've got your headline, we've got your subtext, and we've got the call to action. So all of that still remains the same, but we're emphasizing it further and building that trust factor into the hero section as the first thing that people are going to see. And then a next element that we could also add into the hero section would be some sort of promise or some sort of result that you can deliver to the client. This could be along the lines of 3 different promises that could be tied into your values, or promises that you give to every single client, or it could be some sort of result that you guarantee and everyone that comes to the website is seeing this instantly as soon as they land on the website. So you can already see here we're keeping the same sort of layout, but we're adding new elements in that are just instantly building that trust factor with potential clients that are visiting your website, and it's taking that initial bog standard hero section and starting to turn it into a really high converting asset for your website. So let's continue on now and let's try a different layout altogether. So we're going to move away from the split with the text on the left hand side and the image on the right hand side, but we're going to start to keep in some of the elements that we've just started adding in. So the next layout that we'll go through is more of a play on the hierarchy side of a hero section, which again, it's all really important to get this right. And what you'll see here is we've got your important message, so your headline message again up at the top. So this is emphasizing to the person visiting via a hierarchy that this is the most important thing that they need to look at. So when the eye comes straight onto the website, they're going to see your message straight away. So this is some sort of high impact headline, and then the eyes are going to naturally follow down the page, and you've still got the supporting image obviously to help boost the message in your headline and the subtext. But obviously you've got it in a hierarchy where people instantly know subconsciously that this is the important part. Then you're taking them to some sort of call to action. Then you're building in the trust factors by adding in some of the widgets that we've talked about already, such as a review widget or a testimonials or something along those lines, and you're still delivering on those 3 promises, 3 simple things that are obviously just going to keep building that trust in there. So this is another good one, another good play on the hero section that you'll see many times over now. It's starting to become quite popular, these, and for good reason. And as you can see, they're very easy to implement yourself. And now a final one just for a little bit of a variation yet again on the ones that we've just looked at, but again using similar sort of elements, is this sort of play on the hero here. So again, you've got on the left hand side the most important bit, which is obviously your headline, the subtext and your call to action. But over on the right hand side, we can start to split stuff up with your imagery, as well as working in some of those sort of promises or stats that are going to start to build the attention and start to build trust with the visitor. So here, for instance, you could have a couple of separate images, just nice and small, but just to build on the overall messaging. But then intertwined within those, we can start to add in some of those promises, or maybe some sort of a headline stat that people are just instantly going to see there, to start giving them a reason to actually continue to look further into the website and hopefully become a paying client. And then obviously below this, we've brought back in the elements of the testimonials. So again, you can have a couple of testimonials here, 2 or 3 testimonials. You could even have this as some sort of slider where it's sliding through. But the key thing to mention, and the key thing to obviously get over, is the fact that you're getting these sort of trust building elements into the hero section and the different ways that you can actually start to build up a hero, rather than just having a bog standard image with some text over the top. That doesn't really do your website justice as much as what it probably could do. So there we go, guys. That's 5 of my favorite website design layouts. Obviously, we've gone through the various important elements of hierarchy and also building in some sort of trust and social proof within that first section that your visitors are actually seeing when they come to your website. By doing this and just changing up those few simple things, you can really start to boost the conversions of your website and start converting more of those clicks into paying clients, which as a small business owner, that's what you need to be doing with your website, where it's working just as hard as you are every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, to help bringing you more business and helping you to close more sales for your business. If you found this helpful, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be sharing a hell of a lot more tips like this and breaking things down into simple terms so you can start to follow it along yourself. If you are looking for a new website or some help with your own website, by all means give me a shout and I'll be happy to have a chat with you to see how I can help you to deliver a website that can start to deliver you real results for your small business.